Hello, good afternoon. My name is Daniel Brown, and this is my Week 5 assignment for ECE 642 Quality Curriculum in Early Childhood Education. All right, in this PowerPoint, I will be discussing my plan to incorporate a balanced literacy approach in my classroom or school. My intended audience that I would like to talk to is staff and or parents that could benefit from my presentation. All right, let's get started. All right, so in the first slide, key approaches for balance and literacy. There are four major ones that help children balance literacy. It will be oral language, print awareness, phonological awareness, and writing. Right. Oral language is basically just how children are able to communicate with each other and how they communicate with teachers. Print awareness is having the ability to understand that books have meaning to it and others are able to recognize that letters are to be read. All right, so children are able to recognize what a purpose of a book is, the letters that are inside of the pages, if the book is hardcover or soft cover, just for them to have that awareness of print, that letters can be correlated to the papers. Phonological awareness, that's a bit able to have the ability to sounds of words. So basically that's phonological is so important in early childhood development is the awareness of and ability to work with sounds and spoken languages. So when children hear certain things, certain certain words, it's their ability to work with that sound with it. Writing, that's just to be able to understand the words that can be written. Early in the child's development, they're able to scribble. That's them conveying messages until they progress into letters. Right. All right. So the instructional approaches that I will use to teach. First would be reading and recognizing letters. So I definitely will use phonological awareness in my teaching. And I would do this by reading huge books, really big books that rhyme. Phonological awareness is kind of like it's around. They really discuss. It's really identifying words that rhyme. So I will read these books, these huge books, and they will have like simple rhyming, and then I'll point to one of the words that are being read on the book, and the children will be able to recognize those words when we have discussions about it and what makes these words rhyme together. Comprehending and asking children questions about the book to make them think more. It's always a purpose. I'm always going to have a purpose behind reading to a child or my class. I'm going to ask them questions about the book, what they thought about that book, and other questions that might enhance their learning. Having activities that provide children hearing, seeing, and saying vocabulary literacy development to see some of the connections between oral and written. So I definitely would have children be able to use audiobooks so they can hear it. Also, I will have words around the classroom so they can be able to recognize those letters and definitely do it writtenly. Children will show, the progression with writing. Children count words in a sentence. I would, especially in books, that teaches literacy and also mathematics because they're counting how many words are in sentences that I can teach. Print letters so children will recognize it with pictures. Like I said earlier, I would have I would have words, but not just the words. I will also have pictures along with those words because children learn visually rather than just saying certain words. And obviously, I'll have writing. I'll have children practicing writing, for example, scribbling. So, at first, I will make a portfolio for each child, and just to show that the families that from the beginning of when they started scribbling to what what they are now. It's just to show the progression. So maybe a child will show that the letter A, they just do one line. By the end of the school year or close to the school year, I'll show how the progression of writing certain letters has progressed. And the Common Core standards, I could not find them in my and for Maryland State, so I used them from the website. So one of the standards says use words and phrases acquired through conversation, reading, and being read to, and responding to text. So I definitely will make that conversation between the child, myself, and the book, asking them open-ended questions, getting them to really think and to really get them to understand, the story and things like that. The next standard, continue a conversation through multiple exchanges. Again, that's just me conveying messages through them. Having that back and forth conversation really helps develop children with their oral language. The last one, many upper and lowercase letters. Like I said, I will have words around the classroom, and definitely there'll be upper and lowercase, so they can, they're able to distinguish those two. And the next one, encouraging English language learners. So I understand that most most classrooms and school settings, we're really diverse in the United States. So I definitely would plan meaningful activities by teaching students that they will be using more than one language. I would have the activities sitting around like family partnerships with families that may speak another language. Encourage parents to read their child in their native language. So in this example, I would print out like a wordless book. I would have the native language. I would ask the parents to discuss the book in their native language at home, and then they'll bring the book back, and then I'm able to talk with that child in English at the center. So that child is learning both languages, one at home and then one at school. And then also I'll label materials in those children's languages and then English, so they can know the distinguish difference between those. And this is another way of children understanding print awareness, when they understand that their native language is on, I guess, a box of Legos or something like that. They're able to distinguish that between English and then their native language. How I will incorporate technology for 21st century learners. So, of course, we're living in a technology universe now. I definitely will make sure that that it will be activities that are meaningful for children, and closely monitored by teachers. Sometimes children can get sidetracked playing Roblox or playing Minecraft or different other games like that, and I'll make sure that the technology that's in my classroom is appropriate and developmentally appropriate for each child in the classroom, that can enhance their learning as they progress into kindergarten and far beyond that. I definitely will use digital stories, so through the tablets. So I'll have digital stories that have the words at the bottom, and they're able to listen and also see those words as they read the stories. I will record children's stories about their art projects, activities, and interactions. This is another way of keeping track of children progressing throughout the school year, sharing it with families during parent conferences, and just creating that partnership for families to feel comfortable that the children are actually learning something through technology and not just playing games. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you.